Welcome back to Cognitive Minds, and we were taking up chapter 2 from Selena publication, that was the flower. Now we'll discuss it further in this particular lecture. So let us study pollination. So what do you understand by term pollination? Pollination is basically a process which involves transfer of pollen from anther to the stigma. Now in the previous lectures, we have already discussed that the male reproductive part is called as androecium, the single unit is stamen, and within the stamen we have two components, anther and the filament. I also gave you an acronym for this, which was SAIF, S-A-I-F. So S stands for stamen, A for anther, and F for filament. Alright. So within the anther, the male gamete is being produced, which is the pollen grain. Alright. So now this pollen grain, in order to carry on the reproduction, needs to be transferred from the stamen, that is the male reproductive part, to the female reproductive part, which is the pistil or the carpel. So this process of transfer, here you can observe that this is your stamen. Okay, this is the anther part of the stamen. Now within this anther, you can see this spherical bodies, right? These spherical bodies which are there, this spherical bodies are your pollen grains. Now these pollen grains are being transferred from the male reproductive organ to the female reproductive organ. Alright. So this process of transfer of the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the female reproductive part is called as the pollination. Right. The pollination is of two types. One is the cross pollination, another is the self pollination. Now what do we actually understand by term self pollination? Self means that if the pollen grains are being transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower, here you can observe that it is being transferred within the same flower, or it is being transferred from the anther of a flower to the stigma of another flower but of the same plant, then in that case, in both these cases, it is your self-pollination. But if the pollen grains are being transferred from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of another plant, suppose this was plant 1, this is plant 2, so now it is being transferred from plant 1 to the plant 2, then in that case, in this case, it is termed as cross pollination. Alright, so we have discussed two types of pollination. Then now you know that the male gamete, which is your pollen, is immotile. What is meaning of immotile? That it cannot move on its own. So how it is actually getting transferred? For that, let us consider one of the examples. We need a mediator. Just like when you are coming to school every day, you are coming by a school bus, alright? So suppose some of you are living far away from the school, so you cannot certainly walk away every day to the school. So therefore you need a bus, right? So similarly, you can consider that your bus is the mediator, your house is the anther, and the stigma is your school. So now the bus is the mediator which is carrying you from the home to the school. Similarly, here we term them as the agents of pollination. Agents are your buses which are transferring the pollen from the anther to the stigma of the same flower or of another flower of the same plant, or the third case is that they are being transferred to the flower which belongs to some other plant. So here there are four agents of pollination. First one is the insects. Now have you seen around yourselves that butterflies or the insects sitting on the flowers, right? So what they are doing? Since your childhood you have been studying this, that they are taking the nectar. Alright. So when they are taking the nectar, these pollen grains are sticky and they get stick to the surface of the butterflies or the insects. And as soon as they are taking the nectar, they are moving to another flower. It is not necessary that the butterflies or the insects will keep on taking nectar from same flower again and again. So they have this tendency to move. And when they are moving from one flower to the another flower, then in that case, when they are moving, when they are taking pollen grains from one flower, and when they are sitting on the another flower, they are shedding off the pollen grains to the another flower. So in this way, they play a very important role in cross pollination. All right. Next, we have the water. One of the water pollinated plants we have a very good example is Vallisneria. So consider the example of Vallisneria. Here there are two plants, right? We have already discussed what is a staminate flower and what is a pistillate flower. Pistillate flower is only having the female reproductive part, that is the pistil, and staminate flowers are those which are having only the male reproductive part, that is your stamen. So you can observe the case of a water pollinated plant, which the name of the plant is Vallisneria. What happens in Vallisneria, you can observe that here here are the male flowers, all right, which are beneath the water surface. This is the water level. Okay, suppose this is the picture taken from the sea, all right. So this is the water level. Beneath the water level, the male reproductive part, the male flowers are present, and above the water level, these are the female parts of the same flower. Both the plants belong to the Vallisneria. So it is here you can observe that the female flower is present. Let us change the color for this. You can observe that this is the female flower. Now what happens in water pollinated plant? The male flower will release what? The pollen grains. The pollens are being released, right? So now these pollen are lighter, so that is why they will float on the surface of water. So they reach to the water surface, and now when these the water current will come, the wave of water will come. This wave is coming like this, and these pollen grains which are landed onto the surface of water, they will move towards the female flower. Female flower is having what? Pistil. So these pollen grains are coming and they are coming in contact with the pistil, and the fertilization is happening. What is fertilization? Fertilization is basically the meeting of the male and the female gametes and their fusion. We'll take up it in detail in the next video. For the timing, just let us discuss on the agents of pollination. So one, the insects. Second, the water. Next is the animals. So animals, you know that animals are eating at one place and they are excreting at some other place. So when the animals are eating at one place and they are excreting at another place, then they are transferring the seeds or the pollens which they are eating along with their food to the some other place from where it can meet the stigma of some other flower or some other fruit, and definitely the cross pollination is happening. Last but not the least, we have the example of wind. What happens in case of wind? In wind, you know that wind is capable of carrying the lighter objects in air. Similarly, when they are carrying other things, along with that, they can also transfer the pollen grains from plant to some other place, and in this way the transfer is taking place. So these were your 4 major agents of pollination. Then you have two more plants, lotus and trapper. They are basically your water plants, but they are not pollinated. Just like Vallisneria, they are not pollinated. What happens in lotus and trapper, they are already above the water surface. The case of Vallisneria was different as a water pollinated flower because the male flower was below the water surface. But in case of lotus and trapper, what happens? They are already above the water surface, and because of this, what will happen? They are pollinated by insects because the reproductive parts are already exposed to the air. They are outside the water. All right. So here once we'll discuss the fertilization in brief. What happens? That the pollens are coming and they are landing onto the stigma. All right. So here you can observe what is happening. The pollens are coming. They are landing onto the stigma. As soon as they are landing onto the stigma, this pollen will start developing a pollen tube. You can observe here this pollen tube is being made. Okay, so it is germinating and it is carrying along inside it. It is carrying 2 male gametes. One pollen is carrying 2 male gametes. So can you observe that this pollen is coming? It is landing onto the stigma, and from stigma it is developing a pollen tube. From pollen tube, 2 gametes are traveling from this pollen tube, and this way they will will travel, and this way they will enter into the ovary. Inside the ovary is your egg or the female gamete. The embryo sac of the egg is present, and so here it will come and meet the egg, and as soon as the male gamete is meeting the female gamete, that is the gametes from the pollen grains are meeting the egg which is present in the embryo sac, which is further present inside the ovules. Within ovary your ovule is present, and within the ovule your female gamete is present. So as soon as they are meeting and they are fusing, then 1 plus 1, earlier it was one gamete, that was egg, second is coming. So as soon as fusion is taking place, the fertilization is said to happen. So this was all about the pollination and fertilization. And after fertilization, the ovary develops into a fruit and the ovule develops into a seed. These are the two important facts to be remembered, that the ovule which was carrying the female gamete, which was the egg, develops into seed, and the ovary develops into the fruit. And rest of the parts of the plant withers off. The petals, the sepals, they are withered, they are dried off and they are withered off. So what happens to how the development of fruit is happening, and how many types of fruits are there, all this we'll take up in the next lecture. Till then, keep learning and keep growing. Take care, stay happy, healthy and safe.